Hi guys, in this video I'll run you through every rating in Assetto Corsa Competizione and show you how to improve each one. I'll also include a long section on how to improve your safety rating, as that is possibly the most important rating of them all. Firstly, a quick overview. The rating system in ACC judges your overall performance in-game across a selection of categories. These include your overall speed, consistency, and how well you race against other drivers. As you progress through ACC, you'll see your ratings improve, and you can use the feedback you get from the ratings to improve your driving style and speed. So let's dive right in and have a look at each rating and what it does. If you want to skip straight to how to improve your safety rating, the time code is in the description below. The very first rating that you'll start to notice in practice is the track competence rating. This appears the first time that you drive any track in game. In a nutshell, the track competence rating is the indicator of how well you know a track and how much experience you have on it. This comes in the form of earning track medals, which you earn for achieving certain objectives. The best way to improve your track competence rating is to simply drive a track. However, to actually increase your rating, you'll need to meet certain objectives. These objectives are visible in the top right hand corner of your HUD while you're practicing. The objectives that you need to meet to earn track medals slowly get harder over time. They start with you simply having to complete a single lap, then they quickly progress up to you completing 4 clean laps without making a single mistake. Once you've earned the final track competence medal, you're finished with the track competence rating for that track and you can move on to consistency. The consistency rating is the rating of your overall consistency around any track. One of the most important aspects of sim racing in any game, not just ACC, is to be able to drive multiple laps consistently. Most drivers in sim racing say that they'd rather race against a consistent driver than a fast one. It's much better to work on consistently getting around a track without making mistakes before you start pushing your speed to the limit. You'll notice the consistency rating in the top right of your HUD after you complete your track competence medals. What it does is, it'll give you live feedback on your driving style, both in the form of a colour rating and written feedback. As you drive every corner on a track, the rating system will start to feedback with colours from blue to orange to green. If you drive each corner at the same speed and take the same racing line, the feedback will confirm this with a green icon. You'll also notice a small bit of text underneath the colour codes, which will say good corner, good speed, etc. The best way to improve your consistency rating is to simply put in laps in a practice session. You should try to drive at a reasonable pace, but certainly not flat out. And your main goal should be to take the same racing line into every corner and ensure you're braking at the same point on the track. The more rhythm you gain, and the more your braking, cornering and speed matches lap after lap, the higher your consistency rating will be. Try to be sure not to push yourself too much, because if you lose control of the car or come off track, your rating will start to drop. The car control rating is the final driver rating which you can increase during a practice session. Car control simply means how well you drive your car at a pace. The more you push and the faster pace you exhibit, the higher your car control rating will become. This is only true as long as you aren't overdriving your car. If you push yourself too hard, lose control or steer too aggressively, your rating will start to drop. Essentially, you'll need to keep a good balance of pace and control. In a similar fashion to the consistency rating, car control HUD will give you real-time feedback through every corner. If you drive too aggressively, it will show up as orange and red, and it will negatively affect your rating. If you drive too slowly, it will show up as blue and also reduce your rating. That sweet spot of green is right in between driving too slowly and overdriving your car. The best and only way to improve your car control rating is to fully learn the track and be able to drive that track at a good pace. Unlike the consistency rating, you won't be able to drive slower than usual to increase your rating. Instead, you'll need to push yourself to come up to the required pace. This rating, along with the consistency rating, will be a great help in becoming a faster driver. If you look at the real-time feedback after every corner, you can start to understand how you can improve your driving. You'll flash up with messages such as steering too much or too aggressive, which allow you to correct your mistake on the next lap. You should actively use this feedback to improve your overall driving style, and this rating will quickly become your best friend. The next 3 ratings are the competitive ratings. Unlike the first 3 ratings above, you can only improve these ratings by competing against other drivers and in special events. The pace rating is solely based on your speed during special events. You'll find the special events tab in the main menu, and these are all leaderboard based events. The faster you are in these events, the higher you'll be on the global leaderboard and the higher your pace rating will be. The best way to improve your pace rating is to simply participate in all of the special events and perform well. Now, that is easier said than done. If you pick events that suit you, you can fast track this process. There is always a small selection of special events on at any one time. and these range from pace-based hot lap events and superpole events through to longer consistency-based events such as a hot stint. If you jump into the special events tab every time you boot up ACC, you can see if there are any events taking place on tracks that you are confident on. By cherry-picking special events like this, you have a better chance of putting in competitive times, and in return, your pace rating will improve faster. The safety rating is without a doubt the most important rating in ACC. Just like consistency, your overall safety on the track is the most important aspect of your driving, especially if you want to race against real online opposition. If you jump into an online lobby and cause accidents left, right and centre, you won't be very popular with other drivers. Instead, you should focus the majority of your time in ACC to perfecting your racing consistency and safety. This should almost certainly come before trying to be the quickest driver on the track. The importance of this rating comes when you start racing in public lobbies online, as the safety rating will dictate the type of opponents you face online. If you have a terrible safety rating, you are likely to be teamed up with other drivers with low safety ratings, making for horrible online racing. To quickly explain what your SA rating is, your safety rating is your overall rating of how close you can drive to other racers without causing any incident. The closer you drive to other drivers without making contact, the better your safety rating will be. If you do make contact or cause accidents on track, you'll receive a penalty to your safety rating. One of the most asked questions we get when talking about Assetto Corsa is how to improve your overall safety rating, and that is because it is one of the hardest ratings to actually increase. Not only do you have to tick all the boxes to actually increase your safety rating, you then need to continue to tick the boxes to ensure you don't get penalised down the road. The quickest way to actually improve your safety rating is through single player quick races. Your goal to increase your safety rating quickly is to drive closely to the AI drivers and stay clean throughout the whole race. The reason we choose single player quick races is that everything here is under your control. You decide the track, the conditions and the skill of your opponents. By removing as many variables as possible, you can focus entirely on driving clean laps while remaining close to other drivers. When setting up your quick race, you should opt for a car and track combination that you feel comfortable with, and you should also opt for a longer race distance, say above 20 minutes or so. The longer the race, the more of a rhythm you can get into and the more you can increase your safety rating. Forget about the practice and qualifying sessions and instead set your starting position to around the middle of the grid. Remember, the goal is to drive close to other drivers while not making contact, so a starting position of the middle of the grid puts you near other cars immediately. You can always lower the AI difficulty if you don't want to have to push too hard, and this will let you focus on following other drivers closely. Don't forget though, the lower the AI difficulty, the earlier they'll brake into corners. So don't lower it too far to the point where you are outbraking other cars, because this could lead to accidents and a lower safety rating. Remember, your main goals to increase safety rating are drive clean laps making no contact, and drive within half a second of the car in front of you. When trying to actively improve your safety rating, you aren't trying to win a race. Instead, you just want to drive as close to other cars as possible. A few tips are to find a car with a slightly slower pace than yours and just follow them. You can also pull alongside for an overtake and brake early into a corner so they stay in front. The final rating, Racecraft, measures your performance against other drivers during races. As you compete against other drivers both in single player and multiplayer, your Racecraft will slowly increase. It is measured by how safely and competitively you compete against other drivers and isn't measured on your final result. The Racecraft rating is the slowest of all the ratings to increase, and this is because one of the key factors in your Racecraft rating is the amount of hours you spend on track. This won't simply increase by overtaking low-skilled AI drivers. Instead, you need to demonstrate consistent, clean racing against other skilled drivers. Your best bet when trying to improve your Racecraft rating is to forget about it altogether and focus instead on your racing and your pace. If you ensure that you tick boxes in every other racing category, such as putting in clean, consistent laps or racing fairly with others, your Racecraft rating will naturally improve. And that does it for every rating in ACC. Hopefully this video has been a big help, and if it has, don't forget to like and subscribe for more sim racing content. See you on track.